Hey everyone, I'm Ryan. You're watching 60 Cycle Hum, and I've done something that is a little bit redundant, maybe even bordering on the edge of, irresponsible with my own personal finances and space that I have to work with. But what it is last night I went out and I did a trade deal via Craigslist for a second Princeton Reverb amp. I've always wanted to have two Princetons and run them in stereo. I've been using a Princeton as my main amp. Let's see if we can see it back there. Where are you, Princeton? I'm sitting right in front of it. There it is. You can see it right there. But that one's a black Princeton, and this is a blonde Princeton. So I've got, an unmatched set, I guess you could say. Also, I'm pretty sure this has a different speaker than what's in my other Princeton. It has this green Jensen special design, made in Italy speaker in here. So I'm interested to hear how it compares to my other Princeton. So anyways, before I can even plug this thing in and do the shootouts I want to do in this video, comparing it to my other Princeton, and then experiment with, like stereo mixes and stuff like that, I need to make room for it. So I've got to start moving stuff around. I've been looking for an excuse to finally get the Ibanez TSA 15H out of here. It's just been kind of sitting back there, kind of filling space. Let's see if I can point to it correctly. There we go. It's hard to do this while looking at the camera monitor. The Ibanez back there. So I'm going to pull that out, and hopefully I'll be able to squeeze another Princeton in there and have it still sitting next to it. Well, I did it. I got it in there. I'm making it work. I've got the limited edition Princeton here on my right, and behind me on my left, the black 65 reissue. They're both 65 reissue circuits, by the way. Unless there's something that I'm totally missing, the only difference between these two amps is obviously the Tolex. But more importantly, the speakers are different. In the black 65, you've got a C10R Jensen, and in the blonde 65, the limited edition here, you have a P10R. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. C10R and P10R, two different Jensen speakers. And I've messed around with it already a bit, comparing the two, but I think you'll see that even though those are both by Jensen, they're both 10-inch speakers, they're both, inside of Princeton's, there are very different sounds coming out of these two amps. I don't know if I'm excited about that. I don't know if that's going to be a problem for me. I love the sound of the Princeton I've had for years and years and years, but maybe I can love the sound of the new Princeton too. It's a different flavor. So let's check it out. We'll start out with the black 65 reissue. By the way, I have the knobs set exactly the same on both amps. And here is the limited edition. Let's see how they handle some surfy reverb from the Surfy Bear Reverb. My Dick Dale picking is a little bit weak today. But yeah, there's a big difference there. It's the sort of difference where I might not have noticed if they were just standalone. I've been like, oh yeah, that sounds like a Princeton. But side by side, the limited edition sounds brighter, a little bit louder, honestly. I'm getting more volume on the same exact settings. I have the volumes right at 4. I centered everything right on the numbers. Treble at 8, bass at 7. And then I have the reverb and the tremolo disengaged on both of them. But yeah, brighter, twangier, louder, where the Black 65 is warmer, creamier, I guess. They both kind of have that hollow Fender thing going on. But it is interesting that slight difference in speaker model, production speakers that these came with, they're not upgrades or anything like that. They sound so different. Let's do the ultimate test here. Hit it with a bunch of staticky noise to show off, the real differences in the sound of each speaker, of each amp. I'm going to hit it with a fuzz, the JHS 3 Series fuzz down here. Here's the Black 65. And the limited edition. Let's try the HM2, right? Stereo. Here's stereo clean. It's tuna time. The mornings have been cold. It's been taking a while for the guitars to warm up around here. And by cold, yes, I mean San Diego cold. Sounds really nice stereo. It's really hard to choose right now which one I like best. I'd say that the limited edition is doing what adds up to a more Fenderish sound on paper. It's brighter, twangier, a little bit crispy on the high end, where the Black 65 is warmer, more low focused. There's a lot of like low end from that speaker. They sound beautiful together. Oh man, in stereo, it just sounds divine in here right now. And that's what I wanted. That's why I did this, is because I've always wanted to have stereo Princetons. And you know, when you do stereo, it's really neat to have the amps be a little different, or maybe even a lot different, and they kind of fill in the holes. Like that's pushing more brights, more high mids, more twang, and the Black 65 is pushing more lows, low mids, and they just combine together like peanut butter and jelly and fill out the holes and make this really nice, big, full sound. I'm gonna try some light overdrive sounds with my 50-50, and I'll swap back and forth and then land on stereo. I should compare their reverbs, and then I should compare their tremolos, and then I should dime them and compare like the tube distortion or speaker distortion, tube and speaker distortion. I've got no drive pedals on or anything right now. I turned the reverb up to 6 on both amps. All right, here's the Black 65. The limited edition. Stereo. Oh, that's glorious. I'd say that the Black 65 has more of that surfy drip going with the reverb on there. It firmly pushes into a surfy sound, where the limited edition is more tight and bright, less drippy, more of a reverb splash. If I was shooting them out in a store right now and choosing between the two, I would probably go with the Black 65, just based on that. But anyways, I've turned the reverb up to 10 now. I need to adjust my levels over here. I'm pushing the limiter a little bit. That is interesting. Definitely a much surfier sound from the Black 65 versus the Blonde 65. I wonder why that is. Could it be all speaker, or is there a speaker pan difference? I might have to pull them off the wall later and check to see if the pans are the same model, because that black just sounds so much drippier, so much more surfy and hollow, where the Blonde sounds less Fender-y in a way. I don't know. How would you describe that? All right, let's check out the tremolos now. All right, I put the reverb at 4 on both of them, the intensity for the tremolo all the way up at 10 for both, and the speed at 6. Throw a little dirt on there. Oh man, that was glorious. I'll say that the trims in both the amps sound pretty much exactly the same. They're doing the same thing. Oh man, in stereo. Ooh, I've got goosebumps right now. That felt really good. Okay, tube distortion now. Speaker distortion, all the distortions. Maybe I should put in earplugs. All right, earplugs are in, amps are up to 10, reverb and tremolo are off. I'm sure to put them back on here in a minute though. Well, I don't know how it sounded without the earplugs. I'm really looking forward to hearing that in post when I'm mixing it. But it sounded great with the earplugs. It feels really awesome to feel the air moving around me again, to have some loud amps going on. It's been a while, I'll say that. But yeah, through the earplugs, I could tell there's clearly sound differences between the two amps, even on the same exact settings. And it's the sort of sound differences where I don't think I could, adjust the knobs around to get them to sound the same. It's a speaker difference. And there might even be a circuit difference. There might be component differences, especially without reverb, because that reverb was so much drippier on the black. I'm looking forward to experimenting with these more. I'm feeling less self-conscious about my decision to get a second Princeton in here. I don't think anything about having multiple fuzz pedals of the same style or multiple guitars of the same style. I've got a couple offsets around. It's not a big deal. I've been a lover of the Princeton for a long time now. Probably like 8 or 9 years I've had the Black 65. So it kind of feels neat. It's kind of fun to explore the Princeton in another way with another version of the Princeton. I'd have no problem becoming a Princeton specialist and, having, opinions on different models and stuff like that. Now that I can compare them, it's kind of fun. I've got a bunch of kind of, direct recording things like the HX Stomp, the Two Notes thing, a bunch of other little gadgets that have Princeton models in them. I should do some shootouts here in the near future comparing both Princeton amps to modeled Princeton amps to see how they compare. Because it's easy to be like, oh, this model, yeah, it doesn't really add up to my real Princeton. But now that I've got two different flavors of Princeton, maybe, those models will match up better to one or the other, or give some sort of, like some kind of common points of comparison to be like, well, it's not this or that, but it kind of lays between, or it's this way or the other beyond the others. I don't know, there's something there. I'm excited about this. I think this is going to be fun for me. Hopefully this is valuable to someone else out there. I know there's a lot of other Princeton lovers in the world. So anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me rude and nasty comments. Support us on Patreon. If there's anything you'd like to see me experiment with as in regards to Princetons, let me know. It could be fun to convert one of them to a 12-inch speaker. But it would be super hard right now for me to choose which one I would mangle to do that. Maybe I need an extension cab, and then I can experiment in that direction. I do have some extension cabs down here that I could use. So anyways, yeah, stay grounded. Bye, everybody.